All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, die-hard fans out there? Colts fans and other fans around the NFL. It is a great day to be a fan. It is a great day for football. It is a great day. No, it's cold as shit outside. I think it's cold no matter where you're at in the United States, and probably even Arizona is probably cold right now. I don't know, but it's pretty cold outside right now.
Yeah, I heard the other night on our Patreon, we had a couple Florida guy going, yeah, it's 72 in here. I'm like, get out of here. Subtract 60 and move a decimal point, and we'll talk about
it. So, what's up, Basil? What's up, Damon? Appreciate each and every one of you being in here. Today, we're going to talk about what makes an NFL fan a fan. Why did you become a fan? Why do you continue to be a fan? And why don't you just jump ship every 5 seconds? You know, there's a lot of people out there, especially, you know, across Colts Nation, where you've seen, if this happens, I'm moving. I'm going to be a fan of a different team. Now, I've seen this before. You know, I've seen this movie multiple times, and it's a bunch of BS, all right? Because these same people saying that I'm going to jump ship didn't jump ship back when, you know, they were like, well, the players are kneeling, I'm going to quit watching football. Well, they're still here, you know, 90% of them at least, you know. Now you got this petition rolling around about Jeff Saturday, and if they hire Jeff Saturday, I'm not going to be a fan of the Colts no more. If they trade for Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to be a Colts fan no more. Now, look, I'm not pro against these things. I'm not, and I don't want Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to quit being a fan just because I traded for him. You know, if that's what actually happens, I doubt it happens. But if it does, I've been a fan since 1984. All right, 83, 84. You know, back when, you know, those Mayflower trucks come rolling into my state, and I was like, finally,
weather just like this, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, I have a home team to root for. And I've been on that bandwagon ever freaking since. All right. Those of you watching this, whether you are in the chat right now, watching this live or watching this later, drop it in the comment section after this video is over, or in the live chat, or both. You could do both. Let me know what got you into being a fan of the team that you love and what keeps you there. All right. Okay. That's what I want to know. Chuck, your turn.
All right. Well, first off, let me put a disclaimer out there. Those of you guys that are complaining about the coach, complaining about the GM, complaining about the players, yeah, I don't know that you're a fan of the team. You're just a fan of what I call the B and C team. You know, and because of being on YouTube, I don't want to swear, but that's the being and complaining team. Okay. And I get it. That's your fandom. All right. But the thing is you got to find something to anchor yourself to, you know what I mean? And I get it. Love football because of all the moving pieces. I mean, fan of football before I even became a fan of the Colts, because I've been playing this game, you know, well, earlier in my life. I should say I haven't played in a while, but playing this game since I was 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? Back then, I'm an old guy. Back then, there wasn't any Indianapolis Colts, you know? So it was like, you just look for a team, you know, and stuff. But then when the Colts came here in '84, it's like, boom, you get something to focus on. You know, I mean, a community of people, you know. I remember when they sat there, and my dad loved football. And when they first built the stadium, we didn't even have a team. They built the stadium, and that was the first time I heard about taxes and stuff like that. And he was not a happy camper. But once the team got here, you know, and it wasn't because of their wins or anything. It was just everybody unified to get for the team, you know what I mean? And guys, there was a long drought, you know, for you younger fans. There was a long period where it was like, you might find a game where you were able to grab a crumb of hope, but a lot of the games, it was tough. It was tough, you know?
Yeah.
Then we had, you know, Peyton Manning era, and it's like, oh, everybody was, you know, everybody loves winners. I get it. And now it's like, it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like people forgot what it was like to struggle a little bit. Chris Ballard said it in his, presser. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of the struggle. He's not going to run away from this. And that right there, that's the type of mentality you have to take. I mean, I get it. Last year or this year, however you're still looking at 2022 season, nothing to be excited about, really. I mean, it was hard. Defense, I shouldn't say nothing, but not a lot to be happy about. But the thing is we could unite and stuff and be positive about some of the stuff. And nowadays, it just seems like you said, people are saying, if I don't get my quarterback or if I don't get my head coach, well, guys, there's a lot of different multiples there. So the chances that you get both is so we just got to find something to grab a hold of and to sit there and root for, right?
So check this out. I have been on the BNC bandwagon, as you like to call it, occasionally. I'm not 100% okay about every single thing the Indianapolis Colts do. Okay, you've heard me all year. Why is Strausser still the coach? Right? Last year, I was like, why is the defensive lineman position coach still the coach? There was a lot of stuff I was not happy, and I will voice my opinions. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit being a fan. Right. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
My point. Don't be a season ticket holder on that wagon. You can hop on and hop off every once in a while. You just don't have to live on that wagon. I don't get it if you're that unhappy. Maybe you need to refocus what you're looking for. Because we don't control these things as much as we dream like we do.
Absolutely. Guys, while we're here, we're 6-7 minutes in. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Help get some more people in here. It is the analytics on YouTube. Every like for that is hit on there will push our stream out just a little bit more, and we'll get more and more people in here, more and more reactions. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, feel free. You could use the super chat or the link in the description of the video. Appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Now I want to actually, this is what we're getting on here. Joe, appreciate that. I sent out a tweet about 2 hours ago, I think it was, asking what made you a fan of your team, right? And I got some responses, ladies and gentlemen. What? Wow. So we're going to go over a lot of those responses right now as there it is. What made you a Colts fan? For me, as I stated earlier, they moved to my state, right? And then I also had to put in the disclaimer, right? Your reply could be used in today's live stream about the topic. So let's get in here and check out exactly what a lot of these people were actually saying, because there are some really good stories about why people are, Rondo, what's up, my guy? Appreciate it. He says Madden 03. I randomly selected a team, and I've been there since. Okay. 03 was a good year.
That's right.
That's when Manning started kicking off and having a good season. So
yeah, better 03 than 83 because
definitely. I don't think Rondo was alive in 80. I don't think he was alive in 93. Okay,
I understand.
I know Rondo pretty well. He's a good guy. Caveman Rick Stevens, what's up? Says Halloween 1987. The GM Jim Irsay, right? Not the owner. The GM at the time, Jim Irsay, and head coach Ron Meyer made the trade for the Rams running back Eric Dickerson, who was his favorite all-time player. That's a good move. I'll tell you what, I would have been a big fan had the Colts traded, overrode the trade for Green Bay to get Reggie White. I would have been excited about that because that's my favorite all-time NFL player.
Yeah.
So.
And I was like I was telling you guys yesterday, was his birthday, and he was sitting there and even got a birthday tribute from Eric Dickerson. And I was just like, see, that's what being a Colts fan can get you sometimes. Super guy, positive all the time, doesn't tell you how to feel about it one way or another, just shares his thoughts and keep it all moving.
Absolutely. What's up, Wyatt? Appreciate you in here. Says, I grew up in Glen Burnie, Maryland, 8 miles south of Baltimore. The team was pretty good and had a quarterback. They had a quarter. Oh, his name was Unitas. Yeah. My favorite color is blue. By the way, I go by the handle Old Colts fan. Okay. Appreciate you. Jessica Dunn says, being from Indiana and parents have season tickets since 1984. Wow. Yeah. You talk about sticking through the lean years, right? Went to my first Colts game when I was a year old. That's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I'm an old guy. I was 14 whenever the team came here. You know what I mean? So to hear these stories, and that's the thing, I keep trying to process my brain around. Sometimes some of these guys, you start talking about, Dwayne Bickett and stuff that us old dogs know right instantly, and then they're like, who? And it's like, oh man, let me sit down and talk to you for a minute about some things.
Depressed Colts fan in Cincy. That's right. He is in Cincy, and he's a Colts fan. Now, I understand the depressed part of it. This was a pretty bad season. I get it. But he says he was watching games with his dad and uncle, has been a fan. His fandom was cemented by none other than the cardiac Colt, Jim Harbaugh.
Captain Comeback. Oh, yeah. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I understand Peyton Manning put football, on the main front of, but I'll tell you right now, Jim Harbaugh was definitely opening that door and opening a lot of eyes, and to their point, putting them in respiratory distress from time to time. Those were some exciting games.
Absolutely. Mr. Guess Who 410 says the 0-2 Monday night football game against the Bucks. Enough said.
Done.
Yeah. You watch that game and you're like, all right. Probably about 99 to 01. So Dylan Albrecht, 99. Pretty sure that was the Marvin Harrison, right? I think. No. Edgerrin?
Yeah, because it was
Edgerrin.
Peyton Manning. Yeah, because Marvin was here first.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was 98. Edgerrin was 99.
Yeah, Edgerrin 99. Seen a couple Colts games, didn't watch the Manning game. I was hooked. Born and raised in Nebraska, and my house didn't watch You're a Cornhusker or didn't watch football? That's the Colts got you into football. Wow. Over the Cornhuskers. Even my social security number is from Indiana somehow. Don't ask me how. IDFK, not going to spell, word that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Dwayne Jr.? Since I love the Colts since Harbaugh and Folk, we're going to hear a lot about the Harbaugh and Folk era. Grew up watching the Colts, took them with me every deployment, every country, every city, every state. That's awesome.
That's awesome. And guys, I don't know what you guys are experiencing right now, and I understand but this guy's, it just proves to you, sometimes it's how things are going on the field. Sometimes it's how they are with the community. Sometimes it's just how the community is with you. You know what I mean? And these things do travel, and that's the thing.
Absolutely. Born in Indy, but we moved to Georgia when I was 11. My mama grew up a Colts fan, teenager from the Mayflower incident. Yeah, I know about that. I started watching football with her when I was about 12, and it's been a wrap ever since. Absolutely. Colts fan 101. Are you going to start teaching us some things? I was born in 96, so when I was growing up, Peyton Manning was my favorite quarterback. Well, hell, he was your favorite quarterback when you were still in diapers. So you actually, and the beautiful thing about that is look, I understand there's fans of every ages, right? There's a lot of these fans, like Colts fan 101, don't know those lean years, right? They don't know from the 80s and 90s of what it was like to be a Colts fan. We were the Browns, Jets, and Lions, okay? That's what we were at the time, sitting over there in the AFC East. And, I mean, even the Patriots during that time was not good, but they had a better overall record than we did, okay? But the fact of the matter remains that every team in the league, there's not a team out there that doesn't have lean years, right? How long has it been since Buffalo has, went to a Super Bowl? Hell, even won a playoff game, right? That was a thing before Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
Same with Cincinnati, right? But it is what it is. Tara, 85-70. My dad was a Colts fan since the Baltimore days. He followed the team to Indy. I became a fan through him, and they're in Jersey. That's
there
awesome.
you go. And you guys got to remember, some really good things have come out of Jersey. But a big number, 56, to mention, born and raised. So yeah, like I said, this. I love seeing this because it still shows you how everybody can sit there and even after this terrible year, tell stories and stuff that sort of brings back hopefully a smile to their face.
Absolutely. And there is a lot of good things out of Jersey, except for that TV show, Jersey Shore. Aaron Christopher Gibson, Colts versus Jets, 1999. Marlon Jackson from my hometown of Sharon. There you go.
Hey.
All right. That helps a lot when one of the players on the team is someone that you used to pass by every day on the way to school or something. So that's really cool. Andrew, what's up? Says I became a fan when I was 6. Didn't realize how close I lived in Chicago. And I just correlated Indiana aspect of it since, the region, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
My Bears family spent years trying to make me a Bears fan instead of a Colts, but it never worked.
Way to stay strong, Andrew. Way to stay strong.
Awesome. Moved to Indiana in 93. Went to see some Colts Dolphins because my dad wanted to see Marino. Fell in love, been with the Colts ever since. Hey, 93 Marino, that was something towards the end of his career. But Marino was a fun guy to watch as a quarterback. But absolutely moved to 93. That was a year before I graduated.
Yeah, and the thing is Marino was, to me, when you look at how he elevated the NFL and the way the game was played, and then you followed up with a Peyton Manning shortly thereafter. I mean, I felt like that was where the biggest jump, I should say Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, but that's where you sat there and seen the biggest evolution in the offensive side of things.
There's just a bunch of people in here replying. What's up, Ant? Appreciate you. Says, I moved to Indiana in 93, went to see the Colts Dolphins game. I've already said that. Same for me. Grew up a Steelers fan in the 70s. Well, there you go. Steelers. It happens.
That's where I was. I was Steelers, and then I went to the 49ers. I just love the way they played football and the two different ways of playing the game and stuff. It was really impressive. Plus, my first football team I was ever on at 7 years old was the Indiana Bears or Indiana Steelers.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Foonfest, what's up? Says I moved from Singapore to Indiana to go to college. My first game I watched start to finish was the Thanksgiving Colts-Lions game in 2004 and thought, this Peyton Manning guy is kind of fun to watch. Been a fan ever since.
That's awesome. I wonder if Foonfest was a fan of football or if it was just, seeing it and checked it out. And was that the first one? That'd be a cool way to ask.
Absolutely. Ultimately, 2 individuals, Peyton Manning, Tony Dungy. They are the reason why I am a Colts fan.
And that's the thing, guys, even if you aren't on board with some decisions, you can sit there and look at the culture that was created by those gentlemen, by Bill Polian. I mean, and the litany of other names. I'm not, Jeff Saturday, one guy that's taken a bit of a pounding, but he's one of those guys that really set that. And I get it, you can still hold on to those. You just don't have to make all the decisions based around that time period.
It says, I became a fan because there wasn't a Baltimore team until 96. Look, I get it. There was a lot of Baltimore Colts fans that traveled with the team to Indy. Now, I'm not saying they moved with the team, but their fandom went to Indy rather than Baltimore. I understand there is a lot of buried feelings about that situation.
I was going to say, there was some that moved in their fandom, and then there were some that just totally disconnected from it all. And that's the thing. This organization has really generated a passion ever since of its inception, whether it's in Baltimore, whether here in Indy. And it shows you by the way, it shows you where Ant was born, because there wasn't a big window where it wasn't the Baltimore Colts to the Baltimore Ravens.
Exactly. Dustin, what's up? Dustin says, my grandpa bought season tickets for the Colts first year they moved to Indy. I was 8 years old and not interested in sports at all. I remember getting goosebumps first time I saw the inside of the Hoosier Dome. Been a fan ever since. First time I've been in the Hoosier Dome, I realized something. I needed to bring like earplugs because it was freaking loud. All right.
First time I was in the Hoosier Dome. I know this isn't sports related, but it also just the building and the feeling is, and then to sit there and wonder, how are they really keeping that roof up? So
yeah. Yeah. They had to deflate it in order for it to go out. Colts Blue Band. What's up? Says my dad grew up outside of Baltimore. Another traveler. Awesome. Indiana boy. Dad was a Colts fan. It's not very deep, but I wouldn't change it for the world. What's up, Empathy? Appreciate you, my guy.
I love the name.
I know. And he is on Twitter a lot. He responds a lot to my stuff. What's up, Jan? Says out-of-state fan, got free tickets in middle school, went to the RCA Dome, saw Peyton and Marvin, torched the Chargers, been a fan ever since. Go to a game every year. That's freaking awesome. Traveling out of state every year, gets to go to a game. That's a fan. That's a fan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can be a fan in so many ways. I mean, I don't get to go to a lot of the games, but I'll tell you right now, I do love the team. And then, like you said, you have those people who are loyal that go to the games all the time. And it's like a symbiotic, you know what I mean? Because there's those of us that have to sort of live through their stories and stuff. So that's cool.
Absolutely. First ever football game I watched was Cowboys Colts. My whole family, Cowboys fans. I watched Peyton and Marvin dice up the Cowboys. Been a fan ever since. Didn't I already read this?
Well, I will tell you right now, Peyton and Marvin saved your soul.
Right.
I'm just kidding, Cowboys fans, kind of. Oh, mercy.
Oh, my goodness. That's hilarious. Manning to Clark for the one-handed, the reach up, just calm it like
curls,
that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was beautiful. Yes, absolutely, Denver. All right, Red Forest, moved to Indiana, 81. We're not fans of basketball. That's a problem if you're in Indiana before 1984, okay? Because that's all we had. We were already Major League Baseball fans, so we didn't do anything with the Indians because, the Indians aren't Major League, they're AAA. We haven't been NFL fans previously, so we slowly became Colts fans. That's all good, Red Forest. Sometimes it takes time for something to grow on you.
That's right. Those roots just have to get a little bit deeper in the ground before the blossoming starts to happen.
Absolutely. UK fan, Sean, what's up? My dad worked in a Rolls-Royce plant in Indianapolis, early 2000s. Bought me a Manning jersey. Well, that did it. That did it. Right? I mean, it did. Now, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess, when you're a kid and someone buys you a jersey, it's time to be a fan. Remember that, all you dads and moms out there that have young children.
That's right. Moms may know best, but dad knows what makes the motor run.
The real Andy Keller, Jim Harbaugh, cardiac Colts. I was young and never cared about the Colts before they went on that run and got just heartbroken against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that was the thing about that time period is you had the really high highs and then you had the just devastating lows. And it was like, that was all in one game. You know what I mean? So there was the wide spectrum as far as being a fan of that generation of the team.
All right. It's just going on. I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing this. I was a Bengals fan until the Colts moved here. Never looked back. I understand that situation. Bengals were the closest team, right, to you. It was either the Bengals, the Bears, or the Browns. And, it is what it is. I'm from Indiana. I root for Indiana teams. Yeah, that Peyton Manning fella helped. Gotcha. That I had a lot that helped me, but yeah, same. I'm in the same vicinity here. Grew up in the South where there was only college football. Moved to Chicago in 91. Loved the Bears with Harbaugh. Followed Harbaugh to Indy. Split my love between Indy and Chicago for a few years. Then when they drafted Peyton, I left the Bears for good. All chips in.
Oh, no. There's different versions to the interpretation of that three-worded phrase.
All right. That's a nice story, Patrick. Very, very nice story. Chris says Peyton Manning, which there are a lot of people. My family used to belong to a country club in the 70s, which had a few Colts. Tom, that's awesome.
Yes.
They were larger than life. All football players are larger than life. But yes, I get you 100%.
And that's another thing. When the Colts first came in here, I mean, I get it that these guys go and they do community projects and stuff. But I mean, no, you could literally, back then you could walk into a store and run into, some of the older veteran players and stuff. Because let's not forget, back in the mid 80s, the NFL players weren't making nearly as much as they are nowadays.
Absolutely. What's up, Soft? Don't be soft. I was 6, 7 years old, started to understand football, gravitated towards the player I admired most at the time. Rest is history. Number 18. And you've had 18 views on this. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense. The 58 championship games, James Felon. There you go. Wow.
There's a gentleman that's seen about every iteration or every hurdle to overcome. He's probably looking at this, what's going on now with the Colts. It's just been there, done that.
Absolutely. My story's odd, Trevor says. When I was young, I was gifted Tecmo football for the Nintendo Entertainment System, in case you didn't know what NES stand for. Those of you that are a little on the younger side. I didn't know anything about football, but I always chose Indy because their name was cool. They were blue. And then when I got a little older, I started watching, and Peyton Manning did the freaking rest. All right. They sucked on Tecmo NES. I'll tell you that much. They sucked. Okay. But I enjoyed playing them because I was a fan, and I made them win the Super Bowl every year and didn't have to trade. I was just that good at that game. Everybody was just that good at that game when you was playing it back then. You could have took the worst team. Oh, I did. The Indianapolis Colts. First game I ever watched. What's up, Jeffrey Mahone? Colts Packers. Johnny U. Tom. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, those names are just dropping like out of the air constantly. It's been a while. Yes, it has, Jeff. Yes, it has. And there's another one, a little bit later than Tom and Johnny. Burt Jones.
Yep.
Mid-70s, Baltimore.
And I want to tell you guys, if you don't follow Jim Irsay, check out his tweet, because he really does sit there and keep these names and stuff fresh. And I get it. Whether you're on his back right now about what's going on or not, this man really does love this organization as much as all of us. And like I said, he keeps these names alive through and things where I'm like, there's stuff that he starts sending out, and I'm just like, I don't even remember that. And I go back and look at it and stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I love that about Irsay.
Absolutely. I was playing Madden 01. My dad asked me why I was playing as the Packers. I said, because they have Brett Favre, Ahmad Green, and Antonio Brown. Then he told me Indianapolis had a team. I was born in Indy, but lived in Ohio at the time. He didn't know. And his dad had to be like, dude, go look at the Colts offense on 01 Madden. Gotcha, Alan. Gotcha. What up, Speed? My dad was a Colt fan in the 50s. I still have a 58 championship license plate he got when he was a senior in high school. My first understanding of what I was watching on TV was in 64, 65. My first full season as a hardcore Colts fan was the Super Bowl III season.
Different era of football. Running game was so much more dominant, and that's even more than what we're accustomed with JT.
Oh yeah, that was the Super Bowl that they lost, wasn't it? The 3. pretty sure they lost to the Jets
Yes.
in 3, and then they beat Kansas City in 5. Wasn't it?
I believe so. I don't trust my memory a whole lot nowadays.
I might have them flipped,
Yeah.
but I know it's that way. I'm pretty sure. Or was it the Giants? No, I thought it was Kansas. Either way. Austin Collie. Was my favorite player. My favorite player on my favorite college, BYU, and he got drafted. There you go, Hayden. There you go. You know, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, everybody during that time, it was easy to gravitate to Peyton Manning. It was easy to gravitate to, Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne. But when you sit there and you start,
You're right, Joe. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. But when you start appreciating, the people that were still, I don't want to call them fillers. What's, the supporting cast. I mean, you had your all-stars, but then you had the supporting cast players. And when the team was really humming there, the supporting cast was exceptional as well. So hopefully we're on our way to get back there,
Yep. My family's hometown team is the Bears. And when I went to the Super Bowl, I was very rebellious. So I picked Indy to win and been a fan ever since. Wow. There you go. Indy Bears.
Well, that's awesome. I hope you have a good time, and hopefully you help bring the Pacers some good luck tonight.
Absolutely fundamental. Comeback versus the Bucks. We've heard that before already. Mike. Jab right hook, but I appreciate you commenting. My dad pulled for the Colts from the time he was a little boy, and that sucked me in too. Not to mention they have the best colors. It's blue and white.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Born in Louisville, and was a Colts and Bengals fan. Okay, that's fine. You can be a fan of multiple teams. I know a lot of people say you can't. You got to pick one. That's BS. All right. I'm a fan of other teams as well. I'm a fan of the NFL in general. So there's a lot of teams that I really do like and root for, but I am more focused on the Colts by far than any other team. Matt Ryan. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I hope he's still. Yeah, was that answered at the beginning of the season or not? But yeah, with
Bosnian family man who loves Matt Ryan. That's fine.
Go.
Hey, you love Matt. Matt is a very good dude. All right.
Yeah.
He's a professional. He handles himself well. He's a great leader. He's a great person. Had a hell of a career in the NFL. Don't know if it's going to last much longer, but I understand being a fan of Matt Ryan and then moving your fandom over to. There was a lot of people that were Carson Wentz fans, moved their fandom from Philly to Indy. So it happens that way. Fees, what's up, Civic Pride? Talk to me, my guy. Talk to me, because that's how I feel as well. All right, it's time to end this one. Let's go ahead and stop that screen. Appreciate all the responses. There were more there, but I went ahead and wanted to kill it. Basil's been sitting in here saying, man, you can change the subject this whole time.
Basil, I'll be honest with you. I understand what you're saying, but it's been rough. It's been rough if you're out there on Twitter constantly and stuff, and you're hearing all these petition talks and stuff. And Lawrence had mentioned this, and I was like, heck yeah, you know what I mean? And I was like trying to figure out how to talk about this because I didn't want to beat them up for their opinion because I understand where some of that vitriol is coming from. But the thing is there's still so much to love about this team, about this organization, and even some of the things that people are beating up. Jeff Saturday. I mean, guys, Jeff Saturday was a huge part to this team becoming who, what that era of team play is. And I get it. I'm not sitting there. This isn't me campaigning for him to be a head coach or not be a head coach. I'm just saying, just because you don't want him for that situation doesn't mean that you have to tear the man down all the way. It doesn't mean that you have to sit there and just burn the whole thing down just because you're not liking a certain aspect or a couple aspects of how things are going. Because Lawrence said earlier, that BNC wagon, we hop on and off of it every once in a while. And there's been, I got a leg
part
cramp.
of being a fan.
I got a leg cramp a couple times this season hopping on and off that bad boy. But the thing is just wanted to remind everybody and maybe just sit there and help bring a little unity to things. And just because right now there are so many options. To me, I'm excited about what's getting ready to happen. I'm excited about Chris Ballard figuring out who the head coach is going to be and what this next team looks like. And I mean, I'm excited for Frank Reich and I hope he has an awesome time out there in Carolina and stuff. But it's just like I said, after being on Twitter this last week or two, and I was just like, man, this is such a perfect time for this. And I appreciate it, Law. This was a great idea, Bo.
Well, I wanted to get it out there. I wanted everybody to know that I root for my team no matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what. I may not like who they hired as a head coach. I didn't like Chuck Pagano when he was first hired. I absolutely did not like Ryan Grigson after his first year as a GM. I was like, I don't want this dude on my team no more. I was still a fan. I stuck around, I still rooted for my team no matter what. But it is what it is.
I feel your pain, Joe Burt. So as many years I've been trying to tell the Colts who to hire and who to draft, and they've never listened.
Right.
Sad.
Yeah, I wish that you can. Oh my goodness, Pat Beach, Dean Biasucci, Ron Stark, Jack Trudeau. You're missing a few guys. Chris Chandler, Andre Rison. Loved Andre Rison. Too bad he wasn't here very long.
I was going to say, how many people even knew that Andre Rison was on the Colts? I mean, they think of Andre Rison, they probably go straight to the Falcons. But I'll tell you right now, he came in here first and was awesome. But it was just one of those things that didn't he get traded? Isn't that what we ended up doing him?
Yeah. Yep. He wanted out. Here's the thing, okay? There's a lot of guys that I absolutely love, but you're talking about Pat Beach. Pat Beach was the first tight end that made me go, ooh, that's cool. He loves the make you want to see guys out there, blocking and hammering people, because I was used to guys like Keith Jackson from the Philly, Eagles that, he caught the ball and ran with it. And that's, Shannon Sharp and all them other dudes, the Bengals tight end. I can't remember what his name was back in the 80s. That was really, really good like that. But Pat Beach really made me into that. And then the guy that came in after Pat Beach, you remember his name?
No, I'm terrible with timelines. You can name his name and I'll be like, okay, I know who that is. But like I said, I'm so wrapped up in what's going on this season or last season.
Really? All right.
What do we got here?
Ken, I'll give you his first name. Ken
Dilger?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, as far as how they fall sometimes, now, I mean, I can remember Ken Dilger playing, he was one of those first tight ends that brought the intellectual side, and was still, he was sort of Jack Doyle before Jack Doyle was. He was really dynamic at many levels of that tight end position.
Well, Ken Dilger, you remember when somebody was just sitting there talking about the 0-2 game against Tampa?
Yeah.
That was the year he went to Tampa.
Yeah.
That was the year he went to Tampa. So, that's something. But I loved Ken Dilger. He was Pat Beach, but 2 times in my opinion. Ken Dilger was the guy that made me really love the tight end position even more than Pat Beach. Pat Beach came in and then Dilger came in, and I was just like, dude, Dilger and Doyle are so similar. So similar in the way they play.
I was the player I was most mad at when I was younger was Tony Saragusa, because I was always playing guard or center, So those nose tackles were the enemy no matter what. But then the Goose came in and his personality and the way he just I was like, this dude made me I was like, man, I love this. Love this guy though, And I was just like, all right, man, this guy is made being a defensive interior guy cool. And then that's when I started really learning that side of, to respect that side and what those guys used to do.
Yep. All right. So for me, like I said, just because a team isn't going to do something that you want to do doesn't mean you need to jump ship. Sure, you can complain. That's what being a fanatic is all about. That's fine. All right. I don't like the fact that, they hired this guy, or they signed this guy, or they drafted this guy, or they traded this guy away, or traded for this guy. Doesn't matter. I get it. You're going to have your own opinions, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. But if you jump ship over one move, then to me that tells me that you're not really bought in on being a real fan. You're a fair weather person, and look, there are plenty of fans that are fair weather, you're bandwagon people, and that's perfectly fine, because when a team is doing good, that's when you start selling more, right? That makes a team better, because of the fair weather fans or the bandwagon fans will start buying merchandise and go to, games and things of that nature. But I mean, the true diehards, we know what it's like, and it doesn't matter, that we have a bad season, or if we feel like someone made a bad decision. Yeah. We will sit and ride it through.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. I'm more of the mind. I'm like, look, if you can't find anything positive about it, then okay, I get it. But I don't know how you look at this whole organization at any one point in time and not find something to sit there and focus on. And if you want to just be, tearing it down and stuff, okay, if that's your choice, I get it. We don't have to share those opinions. But now the thing is it's just really gotten to where people are, like I said, just because they don't like Saturday as this, they're going to tear down the whole thing. And I'm just not on board with that. The man was too important. Same with Irsay. Just because I don't like the way the whole Carson Wentz thing went down, and this year with pulling Matt Ryan, and okay, I get it, but I'm not going to sit there and turn on Irsay, because I understand that this man, as a whole, if you weigh the good to the bad, the good way outweighs it. Way outweighs it. And honestly, guys, I get it. Change kind of sucks. Not knowing where we're going to go, but let's let this thing ride out, man. Let's see what the next exciting journey is going to be. Instead of hopping off all the time, let's sit there and just ride the wave and see where this thing goes. We don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but Jeff Saturday could come in and lead this team to all the things that we've always talked about. Like I said, I don't know that I feel that he could, but we'll see. But the thing is let it happen, and then voice your. Why is everybody spending all this energy and all this time and being so upset about things that are out of their control? Okay, aside from, I guess, a petition, if you really believe that'll work.
All right, so here's the deal. This is my honest, full, all-out opinion from being a guy who has played football on multiple levels, just not the professional level. The head coach is important, but it's not as important as his assistants. Okay? Position coaches, your coordinators, I would argue that is more important than the head coach. By far, because they're the guys that are out there on the ground with the players every single day, every minute, every second of every practice. They are the guys that know what their guys can do. They're the guys teaching them. They're the guys out there making the calls on the field, whether it's defensive play calls, offensive play calls, whatnot. The head coach manages the game and is a cheerleader in the locker room.
Sets the tone. Exactly. So it gives the basic philosophy, and then one of the most important jobs that this head coach will do is bring in his staff, bring in the people that are going to be hands-on, and then sit there. Like I said, yes, I get it. They set the tone, and and the message can get stale. Honestly, I feel like maybe that's what we're sort of going through with the whole right thing this year. The message got stale. It's not like the players are crap. They're still going to be outstanding players. Are going to have outstanding careers. It was just a down year. Things didn't click. Irsay decided to move on from Reich. Reich's, now got his foot planted for next year. Let's get ourselves situated and let's just have a good time. Let's sit there and root these guys home, because I'm telling you right now, give them 2 years. Give them 2 years. I honestly believe between Irsay and Ballard and whoever else, you know what I mean? I honestly believe that we're going to find ourselves much more on the winning side of games than losing again. I really believe that, along with, I'm giving the credit to the front office, but I also, along with the players and stuff.
We got to be really careful, though.
Important decisions.
Whoever, yeah, very, very important. Whoever's hired, we will not be a good team early on defensively if we hire a DC that runs a 4-3 or I mean a 3-4.
Yeah, been there, done that. Well, we the other way, but yeah.
Well, it's not. Well, it's because we don't have the people to play those positions, right? All of our defensive linemen are lighter than what your 3-4s, and all of our and the same with our linebackers. Our linebackers are really light, so. You need heavier dudes for a 3-4 set. So I'm a little worried about that. Now, all the guys, if I remember right, from watching, that's been interviewed. Now, I don't know where Saturday sits on it, on the DC that he wants to get. But, all the other, like, defensive quarter, like, San Francisco runs a 4-3. So we're good with that. Yeah. Obviously, Dan Quinn doesn't matter no more, So, but yeah, it changing schemes on defense is a bigger setback than changing schemes on offense, by far.
Yes, sir. Because, like you said, like I was saying earlier, 2 years. Give this offense a couple of years with the foundation pieces that we have. I mean, I get we might lose a couple of them, over the next couple of years, but just let Ballard keep drafting. Let Dodds and Ballard and the whole talent evaluation crew keep doing what they do. Let's figure out this quarterback and let's enjoy this ride. You know what I mean? And I get it. There's a lot to be negative about, but there's so much to be excited about. Let's focus on that.
Absolutely. What's up, Joe? He says, where'd you get this, Lawrence? It's special ordered from the internet somewhere a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. I special ordered it. I can't remember. I couldn't tell you where. I'm sorry. Paid a small fortune, but it was worth it. I love it. It's one of my favorite fan things to wear. So, and that's why I'm wearing it today, because it's a fan show. Yay! But it's been 47 minutes. We got 15 people in here, guys. Please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. Go ahead and share this to your favorite social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. I don't care. You want to photocopy it and put it on the wall at the mall or wherever people hang out these days, because I know malls ain't even a thing anymore.
Wait a minute. Doesn't that fall under Reddit if it's on the wall and people have to read it?
Guys, also don't forget, you can check out a couple other links here in the description if you want to help support the channel. We appreciate all the support you give us. We have a direct link where it's very much like a super chat, and also you can check out our merch shop. What a better way to support the channel and get yourself some really good high quality gear. Come check out the Colts Law merch shop. New items added every week. All sorts of items, from clothing to cups to cozies to backpacks, hats, just miscellaneous items that you can get around the house, even phone covers. Just check it out. Let me know. Send me a message. Hey, is there something that I'm missing? Go feel free to ask. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app used over 1.5 billion times a month by people just like you to get local news via articles or videos by those who are focused on that specific area. People like myself. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. Have a good one, Fundamental. Appreciate you being in here. appreciate all of you and the comments and how, I mean, there was only like 15 of you for this stream, but you guys kept the chat going really, really well. Just please don't let us end this with only 15 likes. Okay. But
loved hearing the stories, guys. It's really awesome to sit there and, you know, heck, even fans before me. I didn't even know if that was didn't even know if they were still around.
Oh, I knew Wyatt.
Yeah,
you know,
Wyatt. I knew Speed, Wyatt, and Jack, but I mean,
Ant's been around a while too. But well, guys, I know that a certain person in here is like, you don't end it early. I'm not ending it early. It's been 50 minutes. It's almost an hour. Basil, guys, we will be live again tomorrow. Okay. We're going to do this as often as we can. We're going to have some kind of topic. We're going to come in every day and we're going to talk. Now, on Sunday, the topic's going to be the championship games, obviously, because it's going to be like 3-hour streams because we're going to be reacting to the games. But make sure you check us out, share all that neat stuff. Any final words there, Loyalist?
Just like I said earlier, guys, really appreciate you. I mean, all the support, and we see you guys out there on Twitter and stuff fighting the good fight. So just stay strong, guys, and go Colts.
Absolutely. Gee, don't start crying. I'm gonna feel bad. Nah, it's all good, man. We will be here all the time. I mean, I need to start getting some more content out, and I understand that I need to do my film rooms that I really like, but the only problem is this last film room of Rodney McLeod doesn't even have 100 views yet. What the heck, you know? And I've got what, 30 some or 3,000 some odd 100 people that are subscribed, and we get like 15 people in here. Love the fact that you guys come in, but I'm not sure that YouTube is sharing this out to people and notifying, hey, you know, but we'll work it out. Figure out something. Maybe it just might be because I'm not pushing I'm not doing content as much as I used to. But we will be pushing out a lot. Appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you again tomorrow if you are here, because we will be here.
I cannot. I'm sorry.
I will be here tomorrow for a topic. We'll figure out what the topic is before then. And until next time, as usual, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. And as usual, have a good week.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.
You want to jump ship? Okay. All right. Go be a Lions fan. They know what it's like to really hang out and never do anything ever, 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 ever.